Well, the 2024 schedule is out, and so this is my way too early record prediction 2024. Now, here's the truth. OTAs starting today. I believe they start today. This is way too early to make a record prediction. However, the schedule did come out last week, and I've only glanced through it one time and just kind of took in what I saw. So I wanted to go through it right now with you and really figure out what our too early prediction is going to be. Because here's the truth, man. You don't know how your rookies are going to really develop during this off or the preseason program. You don't know which guys are going to pop off, which guys are ready to go. Lions made a lot of moves by paying guys like Goff, St. Brown, Sewell. There's a lot that can happen from now until then, and you don't know which guys on the other squads are going to be sticking around or not. Justin Jefferson, I'm looking at you. So, long and the short of it is, we will put out another one leading up. We usually do it the first week before we play our first game. So usually week one, I put out another video where it's like, okay, let's see where we're actually at after the season is, or the preseason is underway. But for today, let's just look at it real quick. Going down the line, the NFL really knowing what they're doing, whatever this AI schedule maker is, or if it's an actual human being with a brain, they knew what they were doing when they said, remember those ratings, that wild card game against the Rams in Detroit, Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, the whole bit. Let's run it back. And quite frankly, I don't blame you. It was a phenomenal game, a phenomenal night here in Detroit, and so they are running that back. Sunday Night Football. Lions picking up a lot of primetime games, and I look at this Rams game and I'm like, that's a fun kickoff to the season. We know Stafford is, from everything I can see, you know that, of course, after they lost, there was this thing for them, for the Staffords, where they were rooting for the Lions the whole way through, but you gotta know the boys pissed. So, pretty wild that we are kicking off here at home with the Rams coming to town. I am going to give Detroit the W week one. I just think that we are rocking, we are rolling. I think the Lions are a better team now than we were at that point last year. We addressed the cornerback position. There's a lot happening. And quite frankly, I look at this squad. I think Lions are going to be really, really good this year. I give us the win, but it will be another hard-fought, coming down to the wire game. Week 2, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look at that. Back-to-back playoff games, back-to-back first week, second week of the season. I'm going to give the Lions the loss here against Tampa Bay, a paid Baker Mayfield, a guy who has solidified his position where he's at. I think Tampa Bay marches in and they have a way of just stomping on our roll. The Lions starting out 1-1. Next week, though, heading to the desert, Arizona. Is Kyler Murray even their quarterback anymore? You tell me. I know he is, but I'm just saying. Lions with a W over Arizona. I think that's a game where we just stomp the yard, literally and figuratively, in Arizona. Next week, we come back to Seattle. This is a Pete Carroll-less head coached Seattle, finally. And I think the Lions finally get the number on Seattle. They have had our number for the last years. And I think that this is the game where Detroit finally takes the cake over Seattle, putting us at 3-1. The next week, we actually have a bye, so then we roll into week 6, and it's Dallas at Dallas. After what happened with Brad Allen, the little mouse that could, last year, the referee who decided to just screw us out of that game, I think Detroit punches Dallas in the mouth, finds a way to absolutely obliterate and say, we don't need you. Though, I am going to need Decker to report 100 times this game. I want every single snap Decker to report. And just, while he's reporting, a subtle middle finger down at his waist, just kind of like cranking it. Hopefully we get Brad Allen that week because, oh my God, the NFL won't do it. They won't do it. Because if he refereed that game, it would be the talk. It's already going to be the talk of the town. So, Brad Allen, screw you. But you're just trying to do your job. I get it. Just admit you made a mistake. Everybody makes them. Just admit it. It's okay. It's not okay. I've not forgiven you yet. Moving on after Dallas, it is Minnesota at Minnesota on October 20th. And I don't want to do it. I hate to do it. But I think that we lose this game in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, all paid up, shows up. J.J. McCarthy, I don't know what his long-term, I don't know if this guy's going to be a stud or not, but I think we find a way to self-inflict this game. We lose against Minnesota in Minnesota. I hate that I just said that. Blah, force puke. Forgive me. It was a little far. It was a little, it was too much. Putting us at 4-2. Then we've got Tennessee here at home. I think the Lions clean up the guy who puts mayo in his coffee with a W, putting us at 5-2. The next week is Green Bay at Green Bay, November 3rd. And listen, man, I hate that these words are coming out of my mouth, but Green Bay is looking good. They were looking good last year. They get to the playoffs. They won and done Dallas. I think Green Bay is going to be us and them neck and neck this year going for that division title. Don't get me wrong. The Bears are even better than they were last year. The Vikings are just, they're vanilla, even without Kirk Cousins. I think they're vanilla. I think they find a way to have a mediocre season. All in all, though, I think Green Bay and Detroit, we are going to go at it for the division. We lose this game in Green Bay. I'm sorry. I know. I said it. That puts us at 5-3. We have back-to-back losses with Houston the next week. It is in Houston. They are up and coming. They are looking good. You know, obviously we're going to see how things shape up and shake out. My way too early prediction is Houston finds a way to hand it to us, kind of like that Baltimore game last year where you sit there, you start rubbing your face, you start rubbing your hair, you find yourself drinking too much, you're looking out the window wondering, hello, darkness, my old friend. But then the Lions show up the next week against the Jags. A nice game for us to bounce back. Lions take a W over Jacksonville. Here at home, the following game, Indianapolis at Indianapolis. Lions steamroll, another W there. After that, it's Chicago on Thanksgiving Day. And finally, the Lions seal a W on Thanksgiving. It's been a few years, I feel like, since we've seen that, right? Because we lost to the Bears, we lost to Buffalo, then we lost to the Packers last year. Finally, we solidify a W on Thanksgiving. We could all enjoy our pie with a smile on our faces. If you're not a pie guy, what are you doing? What are you doing? That puts us at 3 W's in a row. I think we have that tough the middle of the season with 2 losses, Green Bay, Houston, but that we pick up 3 W's, Jags, Indy, Chicago, followed by here at home against Green Bay. And I think the Lions are juiced. We're juiced after that Thanksgiving Day game, and we roll the Packers. All of this putting us at a record of 9-4 at this point, right? 9-4. Yep. 9-4. Lions 4-game win streak. Buffalo comes to town. And quite frankly, the Lions are a better team than the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are in this restructuring. I don't want to call it a full rebuild. Maybe Buffalo fans could really pour into that and let us know what they think. But there is so much happening where Buffalo has had to pitch 6 of their pivotal players from this last this run for a Super Bowl that they didn't get. They've had to lose 6 top caliber or high caliber guys. And I think that this is going to be a tough season for Buffalo. I think the Lions snag another W. That's right, a 5-game win streak, putting us up at 10-4. Then it's Chicago. And Chicago always has a way of finding a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Chicago always gives us a run for our money. And I think that they take a W at Chicago. They take the W. We take a loss, putting us at 10-5. Lions sitting at 10-5 with 2 games left. We got San Francisco on December 30th. San Francisco, after what happened last year, in the longest 30 minutes of our collective lives, I think Detroit comes out and pops them in the mouth at this point. We're really trying to solidify the division, right? You're sitting at 10-5. The Packers are going to be somewhere in that, I think, really, if not 10-5. I think right here, this is a moment Detroit comes in. We put that W over San Francisco sitting at 11-5, and then we follow it up. We rally around one last game here at home, Ford Field. Just kidding. Not one last game because we got a home playoff game. I think the Lions beat Minnesota, putting us up at 12-5. I can't believe I'm even saying that record specifically because when I look at this schedule, it's no cakewalk. This is going to be a tough schedule, but I think the Lions land at 12-5. These games, obviously, again, we will look at it here before the season begins, week 1. But the Lions are a freaking good team. We are a smash mouth, hard hitting squad that has only gotten better from last year, and we went all the way to the NFC Championship game. I think it's going to be difficult because every team has given us their A game at this point, but as a whole, the Lions have gotten better since that NFC Championship loss, and I just foresee a really strong showing this year with the Lions trying to prove a point of we are here to stay. Again, it's going to be that battle for the NFC North with the Packers. I do think that the Lions take the division, but it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a grind to the very end, and I think the Lions snag it. Now, I do got to say, man, Green Bay could very well take it from us. So these division games, these games that let's just win in conference, man. Let's win in conference. That's where that Bucs loss, that would be tough. Your interdivision games, that would be tough. If we're going to lose, let it be the AFC, dear God. But as a whole, man, I think the Lions land 12-5. When I was originally looking at it, I was thinking 11-6. But the more and more I look, I think the Lions are a top 3 team in the NFC in our conference, period. I think we are a top 3 squad. I look at us. Top 3 would be us, San Fran, and honestly, Dallas. I hate to even say it. And then the close call at number 4 is probably between Philly and Green Bay. Philly's interesting to me this year. We'll see how they are. But as a whole, I think the Lions are a top 3 team, and there is no reason why we should not win the division based on who our squad is. Again, I think it's going to be tough, but hey, man, that's just me. Drop your record prediction in the comments section below. Good to see you. It's been a while. But yeah, that is it. OTA starting today. We got a lot to be excited about as the Lions season is rolling forward. Forward. I thought I had something else to show you on my desk, but I don't. Did you hear that they are going to be producing? Peter Jackson will be the producer. Andy Serkis, the guy who played Gollum, will be the director. They're working with Warner Brothers, and they are creating a film that is tentatively called The Hunt for Gollum. So when in The Fellowship of the Ring, in the movies, it's different than the book, but basically in the movies, when Gandalf looks at Frodo and he hands him the envelope that has the ring in it, and he says, keep it secret, keep it safe. He leaves. I believe he leaves for actually what is 12 years. And in that 12-year journey, it's him and Aragorn, and they are searching for Gollum. They're actually trying to find Gollum before the enemy finds Gollum, in which, as we see in the movies, everything is compressed time-wise, but Gollum is actually found by the orcs first. He's found by the enemy first. They interrogate him, and that's where they get the words Shire, Baggins, and that's where the ring wraiths, the 9, end up coming to the Shire looking for Frodo. The long and the short of it is they are making a movie about the hunt for Gollum in that period of time. Peter Jackson producing, Andy Serkis directing. I am quite excited about that. I think it's got a lot of potential to be really, really good. Obviously, you got the Rings of Power season 2 coming out in August, and this Christmas, didn't know if you know, but they are creating, it's an animated series on the Rohirrim, probably about 400 to 800 years, I believe, prior to the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers. It's about the creation of Helm's Deep, how it kind of came to be, and then the guy Hellhammer, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name, Hellhammer, who defended Helm's Deep. And that's where in the Two Towers, Gimli goes running up that stair set, and he blows into the horn of Hammerhell. Maybe his name is Hammerhell? I'm going to have to fact check that one. It's either Hellhammer or Hammerhell. I think it's Hammerhell. Wow, that was a lot of nerding out. It's probably because right next to me, I have my player's handbook ready to go. I'm not going to say I was rolling D20s last night, but I was. Lions, 12-5.